Hey guys, welcome to the channel. In this SQL interview question and answer series, we are going to see another very interesting question. This question has been asked in the multiple interview questions like data engineering role, data scientist role, and data analyst role as well. And also, it has been asked in the multiple interview like in TCS, Infosys, uh, CTS, EPAM, KPMG, and PwC. All those interviews has been asked this question. In this video we are going to see duplicate records using SQL. So basically we have a two challenge in this finding the duplicate records. The first challenge is uh, you with you need to use the first name, last name, and email ID to find the duplicate records irrespective of employee ID and department. So what it means, you no need to consider employee ID and department, just use the first name, last name, and employee ID, email ID, just find the duplicate records, and you show me the result, the first question. So yeah, just show me the result. The second question, this is the very important one, and also very challenging one. So you need to show the duplicate records including employee ID and department. So if you find the duplicate records in this table, just show me the oldest record. So not the newest records. So how do you find the oldest records? We have a employee ID. If it's oldest records, we will have the number will be previous. For example, 101 ID has been created. So he joined as a sales department. Then he moved to marketing team. Then we have created another record as 103 as a employee ID. So now we need to pick this record and show me only the 101 employee ID records. And also we have another employee ID 102 has been bomb. It's the same record. It has been created twice. So now you need to show we have this is a duplicate record, right? Now we need to show the 102 records. So this is the expected output. If you see this result, you need to show all the columns as well. So, okay, let's solve this problem. So, let's go to the SQL IDE. So, if you see this website, so I have already created the employee table. I have loaded the data as well. As per the spreadsheet, I have loaded the record. So, now you are able to see all those records as per the spreadsheet. So, now we are going to solve the first challenge in the finding the duplicate records. So what is the first challenge? You need to use the first name, last name, email ID and find the duplicate records irrespective of employee ID or department. So you have to think how we can able to solve this problem uh, in SQL way. The first thing is you need to group the data, right? The first name and last name and email ID. If it's grouping, after grouping the data, if it has a duplicate record, that you can count, you can increase the count. So just count that records. So if you found that combination of the data, if it's more than one, that means that's a duplicate record, right? So that's the thing we are going to solve that. So basically you need to group the data and you have to use the aggregate function count, and then you have to filter the records where that count is more than one. So we need to select the columns, right? You need to show first name column and last name column, so and email ID, right? So we selected the records. Now you need to group the records based on the conditions, right? So just you have to group by, and you specify first name column and last name column and email ID. You need to group the records, right? You need to use this column and group the records. Now you need to, after grouping the records, just find the count. You need to aggregate the records, right? If it's more than one, so just okay, let me give star. Star means in this three column. So if you found any duplicate records, it will increase the count. So if you run the query now, so yes, okay, let me give a count as uh, record counts route RC. Okay, let me run this result. So if you run the query now, so you got the result as per expect. Okay, we got the expected output, right? So we have a counts is more than 2. That means it's a duplicate record. Now what we have to do, just you need to filter that record. If its RC is greater than 1, that means it's a duplicate record. So how do you filter that? So just use having, so having RC RC greater than 1. So that means if its count is more than 1, that means it's a duplicate record. So yeah, so why we used having instead of where? So because in after you have applied the aggregated data, in on the top of aggregate data, if you want to filter the records, you have to use where class. Sorry, you have to use having instead of where, because so where class that execution, if you know the SQL execute an order, so you will understand that. Okay, so this is we have solved the first problem now. So let's go to the second problem. So that's a very important one and challenging one as well. So let me select start from employee table. So just we are selecting the records. So what we need to find that. So we need to find the duplicate records. In the duplicate record, just show me the oldest records. So pick the oldest records, not the newest records. So yeah, that's the thing we need to solve this problem. So yeah, how do you solve in the SQL way? You need to think before writing the query. So what we can do, we can use a Windows function to solve this problem. So for that, if you partition the data based on the column called first name, last name, and email ID, and also if you order the data based on the employee ID in the descending, and if you give the row number, if its row number is more than 1, so that means those records are oldest records in the duplicate values, right? So this is the thing we are going to do. We are going to write the query now. So first thing is you need to use the Windows function. So in this Windows function, we are going to use row number. So row number and space, and you need to specify the window function, right? Just you type the over. So in the over class, just you specify partition by. Okay, let me remove space. Partition, we need to based on the partition column, what are the columns you are going to use? First name, last name, email ID. So in the first name comma last name comma email ID. So based on this column, it will partition the data. If it has a duplicate record of combination of these records, then it will be partition the data. Now we need to order the data, order by based on the employee ID. Correct. So if you do the employee ID in descending, so you just based on this thing we are going giving as a row number, right? Just as RN. So if you run the query, now you are able to see the results, right? Okay, let me run the query. So now you see latest records will always have 1 in the row number. So older records will have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that, right? For example, in Alice, so one he started with the sales department, then he moved to marketing team. So now he is in the marketing because this is the latest record. So if you now if older records have uh, we need to, as per our requirement, find the duplicate values and show me the oldest records in the duplicate values. So in this thing, if you need to show the oldest records, right? So if you filter RNS more than 1, that means that's a duplicate value as well, and also it's a oldest record, right? So to achieve that solution, so we can use a two methods. One is you can use a subquery, or you can use a CTE. So in this example, we are going to use CTE. So what is the syntax of CTE? So you have to use with, and you can give any name. Just I'm giving CTE as. So and open the bracket and close the bracket with the query. Now we if you want to show the results, select star from CTE. Okay, just run this, just type select star from CTE, just run the query, you will get the same result. So now that requirement is you need to show, you don't need to show the RN column, right? Just you need to show the employee ID, first name, last name, and email ID in department, right? So you need to select those columns now. So first you need to select employee ID and first name column, comma last name, comma email ID column, comma department. So we have selected the required column as per our requirement. Now we need to filter. We don't need to show all the records. Just we need to show duplicate records with have oldest records. You don't need to show recent one. So now we have to filter the records. To filter the records, we have to use where condition rn greater than 1 means that records are oldest records and also it's a duplicate values. It's a duplicate values. So if you like this video, please subscribe. So let's run this query. So you are able to see this records, right? So as per our requirement, we got the result. So let me explain again how we solve this query. We solve this problem. The first you need to partition the data based on the first name, last name, and email ID. If it has the same record, so then give the if it has different number, just give the row number based on the employee ID in the descending order, because if you give that thing you will able to filter that records. If it's more than one, that means the employee ID record is it's a duplicate value and also it's a oldest records, so we won't show the recent records, right? So yeah, so we solve this problem. So if you faced any interview, if it asked any interesting question, just drop me in the comment box. I will try to solve this problem. So if you like this video, please subscribe and share it with your friends. Yeah, thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye bye.